How to participate in class actively. University courses are meant to advance knowledge. Learning on university level requires that you connect yourself with information and materials and actively participate in class. Active learning is an umbrella term for learning and teaching methods that put the students in charge of their learning. Through meaningful and collaborative activities, you think about and apply what you are learning. Active learning stands in contrast to passive learning, traditional modes of instruction in which students are passive recipients of knowledge from an expert. Active learning can take many forms and be executed in any discipline. Commonly, students will engage in small or large activities centered on writing, talking, problem-solving, or reflecting. It can be argued that life is a collaborative game, and working in small groups helps students to pick up vital survival skills for well beyond your formal studies. You cannot become better at interpersonal skills just by reading all about it in the library or downloading the latest scholarly research about it onto your hard disk. What do teachers expect? Your teachers requires that you read and discuss assignments and projects to enhance and bring about student learning. Listen carefully when your teacher goes over the participation expectations and guidelines. He or she may not take class time to go over this again, and it would be too late if you realize at the end of the semester that you should have been participating more. Teachers often give instructions on how they would like you to participate. Most teachers will participation as a way for the class to discuss the material as a group, and they welcome student interaction through questions and comments during class. Passive learning and active learning. Let's have a look at the pyramid of learning. On the left, we can see the percentage of knowledge retention within 2 weeks. We can remember 10% of what we read, 20% of what we hear, 30% of what we see, 50% of what we see and hear, 70% of what we say and write, 90% of what we do. That is to say, the more active learning we are engaged in, the better we remember. Now, let's examine some of the characteristics of passive learning and active learning and see what we can do to be an active learner. You wait for directions and information to be fed to you. You look for ways for being more involved in what you are learning. Information is delivered to you. You just follow what is said or written and do as you are told. You are engaged in the whole learning process and in a position to see why information has been selected. Different pieces of information are treated as separate units. You look for the links between different things that you discover. You repeat information without understanding it. You make a conscious effort to make sense of it and find meaning in what you learn. You don't reflect upon what you have learned. You are involved in reflection and self-evaluation. You may become bored and tired easily. Your attention span is longer because your mind is more fully engaged. You use surface processing, in which case you are less likely to understand or remember. Long-term memory is assisted. If you understand what you learn and keep relating what you learn to what you have already know, you are more likely to remember what you have learned. You are less likely to be able to use what you learn. Linking information helps you to see how you can apply it in different situations. What you study may seem irrelevant. Learning is personalized and interesting. You expect others to promote you or to remind you of steps, stages, and deadlines so that you feel uncertain about what to do next. You take charge of your learning and manage it like a project. So you feel confident to know what to do, when, and why. You can try out your active learning strategies. Put a tick by any of these active strategies you could try. Select 2 to try this week, and select 2 more to try later this month. "24 active learning strategies." Summarize a passage in 8 to 12 words. This makes you think about what you have read. Make a spider diagrams or add a patterned note. Think of 3 to 5 real-life examples of what you have learned. This helps you to apply what you learn. Work out which is the best example and why. This helps you to prioritize and evaluate. List 50 mini questions about one aspect of the subject: what, why, who, where, when, and how did it happen. This helps you to explore the subject. Answer your own mini questions. This helps you to research in an organized and focused way. Draw a diagram or a cartoon to illustrate a theory or concept. Write action plans of things to do today, this week, or this term. Teach what you have learned to a real or imaginary person. Imagine you are giving a lecture or instructions. Keep a reflective study journal. Sum up the 3 most important points of a lecture. What's the one most important point? This helps you to evaluate and select salient points. With other students, start a wiki. Make a wall chart or a large plan linking all you have learned about aspects of your studies. On your wall chart, in a different colored ink, link information from another area of your studies. Which is the one best book for this subject you are studying now? Which section of the book you are reading is the most interesting or useful? Pretend you disagree with everything you are reading. How would you argue your case? What example and evidence would you use? How does your newly learned knowledge link with your work or your everyday life? Invent titles for essays or reports. Give yourself 5 minutes to write a quick outline plan for one of them. List all the key points for one aspect of study. Draw a simple picture or symbol to remind you of each aspect. Discuss your ideas or your difficulties with other people. Contribute to your course chat room or start one. Write key points on index cards or sticky labels. Dangle these around to see how many ways you could organize the same information. Try out your active learning strategies and make your study more effective.